After last week's horrible showing of telepathy, I'm finally gonna get a Martian Manhunter episode, and I can hardly wait. They're going to Mars. We're re-meeting up with Magan, who, for some reason, is still looking like a green Martian. I guess she's just choosing that. To find out who my favorite Martian will be. Welcome to the heart of the stories we tell. My name is Rob, and tonight I will be reviewing Far From the Tree, Episode 3 of Season 3 of Supergirl. And I cannot wait until we get to see some Kryptonian on Martian action. We'll save that for the spoiler side. For now, I want to unpack what the basic theme of the episode was without going into any detail. Being far away from home and having daddy issues pretty much was in a nutshell what this was all about. We had two main plots running. The one with Kara on Mars with John, and the one back home, which was more family-oriented. With a wedding on the way, they still have a lot going on, but that doesn't mean that they don't have time to do some super heroics. For those of you that this is your first time here, my name is Rob. I'm the host of this show, and what I like to do is take a look at stories and examine how we tell them, why we tell them, what sorts of arcs we do. If that sounds interesting to you, click the subscribe button. And for now, we're going to dissect Supergirl, or at least review the basics of it. So, before we get into specifics, let's throw this up there. So once again, it's stop. Spoiler time. I love the way they do Martian Manhunter. The fact that to save on budget, they have him be in human form most of the time is a little annoying from a time to time. But tonight was above average. Ugh. How much did they have to have other Martians look like humans just to save on budget? I mean, if you don't have the budget to do the story, don't do the story. Although I will say the CGI when they do the father-son moments really was breathtaking. Now, there's just this thought I have that, I don't know, maybe it's just me. If you're really that worried about having someone figure out where this staff is and where the White Martians are going to dig, wouldn't it be really, really helpful if you had, say, a Kryptonian fly around at super speed with X-ray vision and stuff? Then again, aren't the entire Martian race telepathic? Wouldn't it be just as easy to literally just rip this information out of one of the white spines? I did think the part where John's ship is also a shape changer was kind of cool, and I liked the classic car motif that he chose. But while all this was going on My Favorite Martian, we also had a subplot, one with the wedding, where John hadn't seen his father in centuries because of the fact that everyone thought that the other was dead. Maggie hasn't seen her father because he was an asshole. I mean a grade A jerk. Could you imagine there being anything that would make you decide to give up your daughter? It doesn't even cross my mind as possible. But for something so stupid as she told a girl she liked her, even notwithstanding that we know she did grow up to be a full-on lesbian, that totally could have just been a phase, or just a misunderstanding. I mean, of all things, it was so ridiculous. Even going to the extreme and saying you could foresee this, it still wasn't a good reaction to have. But because this is being handled more like a sitcom, everything gets handled quickly, and she's willing to call Daddy and make amends and see what happens. And you know, I'm realizing just how many messed up families people come from. Kara's is the only one that's even semi-normal. And I mean, we know that Rain is going to at some point reveal the fact that she's adopted too, and who knows where she's from. And Lena Luthor is, well, a Luthor. So yeah, all in all, pretty messed up families. But back on Mars, we of course have yet another excuse, this time for his father to shape change into a human that doesn't make much sense. But okay, we now have all human players because special effects budget. And the story is told that basically the mark of Cain, where white Martians are evil and have received the mark for not being what they're supposed to and being warlike and killing people, and the Staff of Knowledge and the book that's basically the Bible. All in all, I'm trying not to be racist about this, but it sounds kind of like the Greens were kind of douches too. I mean, they talk about white Martian, green Martian. Imagine if you were the last black Earthling, but you were surrounded by white Earthlings, or vice versa. That takes on a whole different methodology. This is pretty segregationist, and as it goes on, I wonder if they realize that they make the Greens out to be, well, very prejudiced against the whites, and since we've seen that there are good whites, that kind of means that maybe they were led that way due to prejudice. And that's also the theme of tonight's episode, because Maggie's father talks about it too, that at the end of the day, he worked his ass off, and that he fought against prejudice against being some form of Latin American, I think Mexican, I'm not sure, and that it's not any better today. He brings up the whole, well, they're going to build a wall because they think we're all rapists, and all of the political stuff because the writers of Supergirl really want to jam political stuff down our throats. But it's kind of true. I mean, it's not a really nice time to live that you're different. I live in the United States, and in the US, we're probably way better than we ever have been before, but it's still not exactly great. Yeah, we aren't kicking and killing people for being homosexual, but it's not exactly all puppies and rainbows either. So I kind of get where he's coming from, although you'd think that if you knew it was going to be hard for someone you loved, you'd want to stand with them, and because you stood with them, try to help them get through it. But his reaction is more of, just don't make me watch if you're going to go and do something that's going to get you in trouble. Well, like I said, I think good old Dr. Mom was a better reaction. Although, again, kind of all this politics in the superhero show is a little weird. Both sisters are racing towards the end, though, as Maggie's father storms off and John's father accepts that he really is John, and has to find this magical psionic staff. I will admit they saved their budget, and they saved it for that end sequence where we had quite the fight between white and green Martians, and Supergirl, of course. And there were a bunch of cool moments in it that I would love to call out. Things like, the stupid trick with the car, turning the car back into the ship of fire, the fact that Supergirl wasn't sure which white Martian she was hitting. But I need to focus on the fact that how many people did she actually kill? Like, she used that staff on them, and blam, 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 and they, disintegrated. Isn't this show gonna be like, morals of killing white Martians? Is our Kara now just good with murder and self-defense? Because, I mean, I would kind of get why John's dad would be like, fuck the white Martians, but why would she? In the end, we have McGann staying on Mars fighting off the white Martians and the Resistance, and that's cool even though I wanted her back. But as a surprise, John's dad comes back with him, so we do still have two Martians, one a priest that worships their god. And as far as Maggie and Alex go, they're still not willing to talk about having kids, and Maggie is still got a whole bunch of issues, but her father left her, and she determined that she doesn't need him. It's kind of funny, we had one regained father and one lost forever. Maybe funny isn't the right word. Maybe it's kind of ironic, but it's also kind of sad. Alright, so this had a little bit of a weird take, but we're going to get back to some superheroics, except ain't no occult next week. That will be interesting to see whether they take that to religion or not. Either way, those were my thoughts of the episode. Let me know what yours were down below. Did you enjoy this? I did, kinda. It was a little heavy-handed, but I still enjoyed it. And of course, if you enjoyed my rattling on about it, give me a thumbs up and share this video. And of course, if you haven't already, click that subscribe button, because what I'm trying to do here is build a community, one where we can talk all about the heavy stories that we tell when we try to look at superheroes. For now, I hope you have a good night, and thanks for watching.